A very warm welcome to one and all present over here. My name is Khizar Ahmed, Director of Khizar Technologies Private Limited. Today we have with us Mr. Sadiq Khan, who is the founder and director of Open Minds Edu Solutions, where they build up a app where they help the students to learn online. Basically, they focus on e-learning. Sir,
Mhm.
today's topic is 6 months from now. Due to this pandemic, what do you predict? What are your thoughts? Can you share your views with us?
Yes, Kizar, thank you for welcoming me. And this topic is very important. A lot of people are worried about this. So I will limit my views to education for now. Then maybe we can have two, three directions of speaking. So this pandemic has affected almost all directions of life. So if we talk in terms of education, I can say, of course, schools should not start. And even if they start, there would be a huge fear. Since I'm connected with parents, they said that it is okay to lose 2 years of education, but we don't want to lose lives. Uh, that's a fear thing happening. Even if the kids are not infected, parents, grandparents, they would be infected. And any school, um, anyone infected in one school will be actually closed, shut down, or sealed for some time. So even if they start the schools with this infrastructure and with this discipline, I think every other day you can hear some school is sealed down, and since that school was sealed down, all the students in that should all the students in that particular school should go on quarantine, and that becomes a complete mess for maybe 100 families. Without their fault, they all have to go to quarantine facility, isn't it? It means you're basically creating, if you start schools, you're basically creating a situation where even if one kid is affected, put everyone on, isn't it? So what I understand is government will anyway open these things, and there'll be a lot of confusion happening in the next 6 months until they decide, okay, fine, we should not go with schools, we should only go with exams. And most of the parents are already decided, let this 1 year go, it's not a problem. We can continue education later. Parallelly, what I see in education system is people, oh, this is very interesting. Okay, this is really interesting. People now believe that they don't need to go to schools to learn. In fact, they are logging in with the e-learning platform from the schools only, from YouTube, from Google, and kids are learning. Maybe they never believed this before. That they can learn through e-learning platforms or they can do self-learning. But now Corona has taught us something that we can independently learn, which is I can say something which the world didn't believe. The whole narrative which the world didn't believe. Kids cannot learn unless you have schooling and teachers and guidance. Kids are learning now. Kids are learning. People are working from home, not going to the office. Even then, the work is being effective. It's not that it's not.
Exactly,
Everyone
sir.
is
Sorry to
working from
interrupt you.
the.
As you said, now that people are working from home, there are some pre-recorded videos which are sent to the kids now, and they tell that parents should sit with them and guide the child in learning it. So, in this case, how can they handle it, sir? Because both the parents will be working from home, and how can they handle the kid with this kind of pre-recorded video learning?
See, Kizar, if you ask me things, okay, or if you ask me things like this, I can tell one thing to you. Human beings are amazingly adaptable beings. If you put them into a war situation, they will live with it. If you put them with a comfort situation, they will live with it, isn't it? So right now the situation is this. Human beings are basically known for adapting themselves to the environment. So of course they're adapting. In 6 months, I think people never believe that they can have schools happening in their homes, on their phone. But people are learning. A lot of things are happening, isn't it? Meetings are happening. Right now we are speaking. This was never happened before, right? This never happened before.
Exactly, sir.
There are meetings happening, there are brainstorming happening, there are products being built, there are designing happening, decisions are being taken online. So it means human beings will adapt, isn't it? Go ahead.
100%. Sir, one more question, sir. What do you think of this new education system being introduced now?
Like in or which system you're talking about?
Sir, I just read online in one of the article that before 10th standard was the middle school, the high school, the system they have changed now till 11th standard, and the degree will be of 4 years now instead of 3 years. I
Also, there
wanted
is
to ask.
reduction in syllabus.
Yeah, I see education system. If you see the history of that from past 100 years, the idea of education system, if you ask me, I don't go very well with this. Okay, I would not use very strong words, but I'm telling you, if you give a child 360 days and if you give him 4 books, it's injustice to its time. A child can study at least 50 books in 365 days. Okay. So whatever they're doing is based on maybe the company requirement or the industry requirement of what is required from the uh, huge population, so that these people pass out, they'll be trained into particular skill and they can go work in the corporate systems or the company. So
Exactly.
education is not limited. It's not necessary that we only study the books. Okay. But it is given to us that you do this much, it's enough. And they make it so big for us that even passing 10 standard exam with just reading a couple of maybe around 30 chapters overall, which are quality, it's not worth 1 year, isn't it?
Sir, since you
Exactly.
have raised this point over here now, I have one more question. Recently, the Karnataka government, they have told that they'll be reducing 30% of the syllabus. So
See,
is it good for the on students' perspective?
I'll answer this question with one example. Okay, then it'll answer completely what I'm saying. If you see government school kids, okay, right, even they are of 15, 16 years old, all right, and if you look into CBSE schools kids, they are having much better knowledge, more fluency, and more skills. And if you see ICSE students whose portions is like 3, 4 times more than the government school kids, right? All of them are the same age. No one is superhuman being, isn't it?
Exactly.
But the same age kids can manage ICSE also, right? Because they were exposed to more difficulties and they were given more tasks. They were able to do that. Even in ICSE, people score 100 out of 100 in mathematics, where the syllabus is like, at least like 5 times more than the regular school. So why are we deciding that human beings are not capable? Isn't it? This
Exactly.
one example is enough. There are some schools where they don't have exams. Also, there are some international boards where syllabus are very lean, and there are again some international boards where syllabus are more difficult than ICSE. But the idea is all the students are 16-year-old. Now, the simple logic is you put more quality education to human beings, they'll adapt it. You make it easy, they become lazy. If you still reduce the work, it means you're making them lazy. You're telling them, okay, in the whole 1 year, you do nothing. You just like 4 chapters in a day, in a year. It's 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 a it's a very sad thing that we are not giving. We're limiting knowledge. We are limiting knowledge of human beings. And how will they become smart? I don't think so. It's required. They can easily do that.
Sir, one more
Even if you,
question. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's one more question which I want to ask. Since you are into e-learning, you have developed the app on e-learning. Sir, most of the parents oppose this e-learning. They said the eyes get affected, the head starts aching for my child, the eyes get strained and all. What basically do you think about this, sir?
see, on an average, everyone would watch television for 3 hours to 4 hours every day, right?
Hmm.
And if you look into the companies like YouTube, Facebook, Google, all these things, they're doing amazingly good. It means the problem doesn't exist. Now, since the problem is because of education, they're just raising questions, isn't it? So
Exactly.
even if an average a 10th grader or first PUC students, college going students, all of them have Facebook account, Instagram account. There are so many apps, they actually log into the account. Less than average half an hour in each app. They spend more than 3, 4 hours just hanging out on social media, isn't it? So if you're studying for 2 hours a day, if you're studying, it should not be a problem by any time.
Sir, it is not the time totally against e-learning. I just one more question. In villages, there's no internet, sir. How should these rural areas people handle now? And government is not providing the mobile phones nor laptop. How should these people start doing e-learning? What do you suggest?
In villages anyway, they were not good schools. So the situation is not changed. But in fact, now we can say situation has become better to them. Geo is there. If you buy a SIM card, I think that's giving you 1.5 GB a day. And now, since so many people are teaching
Sir,
online,
exactly. But in most of the rural areas, there's no network coverage at all.
I think Geo is there. It's good. Geo is a good facility. It's a
All
telecom
network
industry.
providers are telling that their network is reaching corners of each part of the city, each part of the country, and all. But I don't think so. I have seen many reviews of poor people like where they're standing and telling there's no network. In fact, I saw one teacher who was climbing on the tree and teacher taking an online class just because there was no network and he was getting network on the tree.
See, we should understand that India was a slave country around 70 years ago, and we are still a developing country. You cannot solve the problem just like that in a minute's time. See, there's a slow development. It's a development of the whole country, and I think we have been working. The whole country is working. All Indians are working pretty hard. The government is good. Development is happening. Now, you cannot expect India to become US in a day's time or in a year's time. So let us accept the facts. We were slaves around 70 years ago. We had nothing. So we built India for a very, very good cause and very fast. I can say. The change will happen slow.
So one more thing, sir, like teachers have to be retained with new methods of teaching. They have to be trained. Most of them don't know how to do this e-learning and all. What are your suggestions on these new methods? Because most of the schools are getting closed. I have seen most of the preschools getting closed, most of the schools getting closed due to this pandemic. What is your suggestion to them?
Right. See, Kishar, this is a beautiful question you asked. Okay, I am into teaching not by chance. Okay, I'm into teaching by choice. So I'll explain you what this is. Most of the teachers in India, I'm not saying all, most of the teachers in India, they get into teaching because they don't get a job. So, and again, the point is once you have a degree, you passed out your degree and you start teaching kids. No one is measuring what quality you are, right? And most of the teachers, they just get into the industry because they don't get a job. This is the problem. Now, what happened recently is since all the schools shut down and all these people are supposed to take online classes, parents are now able to see the quality of teachers, which is really surprisingly not good. And parents are getting really, worried about are these the people who teach? This whole community of teachers who are not here by choice, but they were. I'm respecting. It's a job. It's a very beautiful job. It's a noble job. But if I say a teacher is like a magnet, okay? If you keep a strong magnet next to an iron piece, the iron piece would be magnetized to the same level. So teacher's job is one of the most important jobs in the world. That's what they say when teachers are next to God, right? Guru Devo Bhava is one of the Sanskrit sloka, right? Which says next to God is teacher. If you take any religion, teachers are supposed to be very, very enlightened people. So let's take it a positive thing that it's come out, and now who will be into teaching? They would definitely have to pick up themselves, right? Exactly.
Exactly,
Let's
sir.
be like that's a good thing. Let the change happen. Not a problem. If I'm seeing from a point of view of a student, students would have no choice because no one will question the teacher that you are bad. But we never know, isn't it?
Exactly, sir. Sir, can you teach in any regional languages? I'll just shoot a question at you, sir. You have made a beautiful app where you teach maths and English. Can you teach students in rural areas, or can you stay at a village and teach those students and help them out to grow them in some regional languages?
See now, technology, as you said, and e-learning, as you said, is like magic. For example, if we are taking quality education, even if I record one video on one topic, that can be copied and pasted. That can be streamed to 1 lakh people or 1 crore people. Now, if you were talking about regional languages, we watch a lot of Hollywood movies in Hindi, dude. And we
Exactly,
also
sir.
watch Hollywood movies in Kannada and Tamil. Dubbing is the best thing. We can do that.
Sir, one more question, sir. What do you think, like, how serious is this coronavirus, sir? And should people be scared and how they should deal with this disease? Any tips from your
Uh,
side?
Now, see, if you want me to talk the sensitive issue on this, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. How and why was this corona introduced? Who were behind this? These are very politically big heads who designed this. Okay, so let me just tell you some couple of things for you to understand. It originated in China, right? And it stayed in China for just like say 3 months time maximum. And the reported deaths like 4,000. That's what they say. And now, right now, all the factories are working, right? Now, you should know this, very important. After exactly 4 months, China bought a lot of companies throughout the world. Why
Okay.
and how? Because once the whole pandemic situation started, all the systems and all the business throughout the world shut down because of fear, right? And there are a lot of companies who had physical structures in China which were run by outside countries and outside
Exactly.
businessmen. They all left China and they left. They went. Who bought these shares? You should go back and do the research. China bought more than 30% of the world's business immediately in the pandemic situation. In the fourth month, the whole China is back on production and selling products to the whole world. So you need to understand one thing. This is not a disease which is actually killing people, but this is a strategy which is making some countries really rich.
100%, sir.
Right? Second, if you see US when they understood this pandemic situation, Donald Trump was a smart guy. He said, "Okay, fine, I'm not shutting down the country because this will not end, and there is definitely, there is no antibiotics and no antiviral drug coming. There is no vaccine coming for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the only thing we have to go through is herd immunity. You get through this, you get over it. US declared it long back. I'm opening the country. We cannot go under loss. And people are, I think that's the most highest affected country. Even then, there are only 8% to 7% people who died there in the whole US. And if you see the US population, more than 20 to 30% people were old population there, right? That's why they died. Fatality rate was high there only because of this. This whole virus affects people who are really old and who are having medical conditions, who are sick already. For healthy people, it does not affect. It means 95% people don't have to worry about it, isn't it? So this is
It's
a well designed economic destruction of the world economics, so that some countries and some companies would make a lot of profit. So now,
100%.
when I come back to India, also see the fatality rate is around like 4% in India, and if you see the calculations, it's pretty simple. Out of 100%, 87% people are not even getting infected, asymptomatic. The rest 13%, in that 4% are dying. The rest 13% are the people who are really old or who have a medical condition. Even today, people really old, 60 years, 67. Amitabh Bachchan got infected. He's got serious liver problem. He cannot survive with this only. How did he survive? He's got
Yes.
one of the chronic diseases of liver. How did he survive? Now, if you look into this, the normal common man is not getting the right attention at the right time. That's why people are dying.
Exactly,
And
sir.
I'll
You
tell you,
mean to say
we
that
can even
they're
discuss
not
about.
treating them properly, sir?
Now, see, the moment you get infected, they're taking you off, they're quarantining you, right? And you don't know what the facility it is. If at all, let's suppose, I'll ask you this one simple question. I'll tell you why corona is not serious and why they're making it serious. Okay? You can make this live. It's a very interesting question you made. Let's suppose we have typhoid. Typhoid is a common thing, right? Everyone gets typhoid. Even take viral fever, normal viral fever.
Mm-hmm.
Agree? So let's suppose when you get a viral fever, you need to go to BBMP and roll it, and BBMP will decide. Out in Bangalore, there are only 10 hospitals you can go get treated. Okay, and if there are no beds, you can't do anything. You just have to sit, and there is no medicine. You will anyway die even with common fever, dude. Right? You will die with
100%.
typhoid easily. But now the situation is this: if they opened all the hospitals and all the doctors to treat COVID-19 and give them the right instructions, I get infected, I go to the hospital, I go to my doctor, he'll put me on quarantine, he'll give me medicine, give it enough care, I'm done. But I have to go to BBMP and I have to be quarantined. I don't know where to go. They will decide where I should go. By the time I do this, I lose around 10 days time. Then I die. isn't it? You're restricting the medication, and that's why people are dying. Now people are not dying that much because we have a lot of
Wonderfully answered, sir.
hospitals.
Wonderfully answered, sir. Sir,
There's a
one
lot
last
of
question. Sir, sorry to interrupt. One last question, which is being asked on Facebook, sir.
Mhm.
On Facebook Live, since you are from e-learning background, you have set up this beautiful app called as Open Minds. Sir, I will not be asking you the advantages of e-learning. Can you list out some disadvantages of e-learning, sir?
There is nothing in disadvantage with e-learning. I'll tell you why. See, when you go to a school, all right, you go to a school in the morning, 9 o'clock, you log in. But before you go to the school, you have to get up at 7 o'clock to get ready, right? So 7 to 9, you don't do anything. You just get ready for the school. You wear your uniform. You waste 2 hours there. You go to the school, you stand in the assembly, you have so many teachers coming every 45 minutes, and you've been taken attendance every 5, 6 times a day. So if you're working in a school, you don't use much of time. First thing. Second thing, you don't go to school with the intention of studying. None of the kids go, right? So out of 60 people, teachers have to force them to concentrate, ask them to concentrate, punish them if they don't do, right? Because that is not voluntary. Why am I saying this? Because when I want to learn, I open my app. I want to learn. I have my 100% focus there. When I go to school, I have no focus. I need to create focus, right? I am pushed to study the subject which they designed, not what I chose. E-learning is giving me a freedom of learning when I want to learn. And when I open the app myself, I'm psychologically prepared to learn. It means my focus is 100% yes.
Sir,
And if I don't
questions
feel
have
like,
been
I shut it
shooted
down.
on Facebook, sir. Like we have Mr. Adarsh who's asking like kids will not learn values, they'll not learn respect for teachers, they'll not learn interpersonal skills. They like these are the advantages. Why is he not talking regarding this? Like
Let
he's
me talk
talking
to you.
about basically about the traditional way of schooling compared to the
Okay,
traditional way of schooling.
I'll answer this. I'll
What do
answer
you
this
tell?
question of yours. Let's suppose we both were classmates and we go to a school in first standard. So how many classmates would we have?
100 in the class, I
Yes, sir.
suppose.
Okay.
Okay. 100 in a
Correct.
class.
In a class. How many teachers would you have? Five teachers?
Yes, sir.
Or 105 people I interact for 1 year. That's it.
Mhm.
If I stick on to the same school for 10 more years, I only interact with 100 people. And let's say I have another 20 teachers. It means for my 10 years, my social interaction is 150 people. What are you
100%.
talking about social interaction? If I don't go to school, I'll meet at least 10 people every day who are different people. I would
Mhm.
have social exposure and values much more than going to a school. You
Mhm.
lock me in a school with 150 people for 10 years, and what will I exchange with them?
Mhm.
Isn't it? What are they teaching me? The same people teaching the same things for 10 years? I don't want them. I would rather like to learn from 10,000 people every year, every single day. If I'm exposed to at least 100 people a day, you know how many people I will be exposed to? 10 people a day, for example. 10 people a day is 300 people in a month, 3,000 people in a year. 3,000, 30,000 people in 10 years is what is my exposure. And you schools, basically schools are giving me 150 people for 10 big years. What are you talking about social interaction and values?
Sir, digitally, if I'm interacting with a person, I'll not come to
Mhm.
know him till I meet him, mingle with him every day. See, online, most people, they might be fake also. They might show their fake behavior also. So basically, I'll not learn socializing, no friends, no values learned. Like, we'll not have this lifelong friends and all. Like, childhood friend, these things, those things, and all will not be there. If I hope you're getting my point, sir.
I got your point. See, I'm not telling you to not go outside your house here. When I go to school from morning till night, I don't go anywhere. I'm restricted. But if I don't go to school, I finish my 3 hours of online classes. I have another 10 hours to go out to society. I can start a business. I can talk to people. I can do social service. I can work in an orphanage. I can give my services. I can play in a playground. I'm free. I'm not tied up for 8 hours and after that 6 hours in the tuitions and I have no time to breathe, isn't it?
Exactly,
I'm
sir.
not telling
Exactly.
you. Exactly. So schooling is, see, Corona has helped us to understand that out of one full day for an average student of less, who's of 10th grade, from first grade to 10th grade, he's got no freedom from morning, the time he gets up, till he comes back from the school, goes to the tuition and comes back again and sleep, does his homework and finishes. He doesn't have any time. You took 15 years of every kid in India with 150 people and you call that to be socialization? Is that it?
Agree, sir. I agree, sir. Excellent, sir. Since we are running out of time now, I'll just end up this session now. Sir, I thank you so much, Mr. Sadiq Khan, for being a part of this interactive session. I hope everybody have received their answers and all, sir. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Have a great day.
Pleasure.